Let's give everybody a minute to come in and say hello in the chat. We can go ahead and get started pretty quickly. Grab. So we have a new bundle tonight. There is a new release and a new line up at the website. We're going to work with the city sidewalks. Collection tonight. And here is our bundle. Bundle tonight is $32. So not too bad. And there is a link in the description box. See if we have anyone come in and say hello. I think everybody got cold tonight. Oh, there we go. Yay! There's Candy. Hi, Candy. How are you? I don't know about you guys. It's cold. I'm cold tonight. All right, so let's talk about our bundle for this evening. We have, if you haven't checked out the website, there's a link in the website to the website in the description box that will take you to, like, if you want to see new releases, things like that. We're going to work with the Flurry collection. Hold on a second. I forgot to pull out my stamp. Let's hope it didn't grow legs and walk away on me. That would be super bad. Hi, Katie. Hi, Clara. Hi, Karen. All my friends are here. Yay. I'm good. I'm cold. That's about it. That's all I got. Okay. So our bundle for tonight, we have the Flurry of Joy stamp sets, the White Christmas washi. We have this gorgeous kaleidoscope holo stock that I think is the most beautiful thing ever. Like, look at that. Isn't that so cool? I will love this so much. Some sky cardstock. I have some white cardstock that we're going to play with too. I just have, you'll get an entire, like a whole pack of the white cardstock. I'm just going to use these little scraps because I don't like to waste. So when I have scraps left over, I like to use those. And then here's the stamp set for tonight. So I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of like a coloring technique that doesn't require you to be good with coloring, right? So you just need some dye inks and a little bit of water, and then you can just create like just a really what's the word I'm thinking of? Subtle kind of coloring. That's what we're going to do tonight. So if you love stamps like this, but you really aren't a good colorist, no worries. I've got you covered. All right. So I don't know how you guys all feel about daylight savings time. I know that the idea is so that in this part of the country where I live, the sun comes up like before 9 o'clock in the morning, right? So the sun's up at a reasonable, normal, like 7, right? And then it just gets dark late. I don't see a reason for that. It doesn't matter to me. My brain says it's dark, go to bed. So I'm going to cut this sky paper down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Like, I'm making dinner tonight and it's dark outside and it's cold. And I'm like, oh, I have to wait another 2 hours before I can go live. And it's going to be like dark. I don't like it. So it doesn't matter to me what the clock says. I just don't like this dark. So this is the Sky cardstock. I cut it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to take the white cardstock and I'm going to cut the white cardstock at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to chit chat a lot and work slow because I feel like this card isn't going to take me very long and I'm going to end up with lots and lots of time to spare. So if at any point you need me to slow down or something, just let me know. Okay, so this is kind of like our card front. And then we're going to cut from just this leftover one will work 2 1/4 inch strips more of the cardstock. So you just want 2 wee little pieces. There we go. When it comes to the new hollow stock, the holographic, a little bit goes a long way, right? Like this is a bit overwhelming. Thanks, Karen. I'm glad I'm not alone. Like I'm not a fan. Well, and I don't think that it's that I'm not a fan of daylight savings time necessarily. I am just not a fan of this time of year. Like November, December, January, February, when it gets dark at like 5 o'clock. Like that's just too much. I want more sun in my life. So the hollow stock, if you use like a big piece of it, it can be a lot. It can be very overwhelming. But if you just use a little of it, it adds like that perfect little icy bit. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces of the hollow stock, and I'm cutting those at 1/2 inch strips. And then we have this lovely washi tape, which we'll use in a second. This one. So for my card project tonight, I used this bottom one, but I think that there's a couple here that would work. You could also cut them differently, like cut them separately. I think that would be super fun too. So there is our little pieces. We are going to do something kind of similar to the coffee cup card. If you saw that one, where the technique is different, but the we're going to go ahead and kind of, I just want to get an idea of where things are, right? So we're going to do this piece. Actually, nope, we're good. We don't need to do that. I was going to map it all out like I did for the coffee cup card, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't need to do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play with some of the stamping. So we're going to use one of these little skiers. We're going to use the snowflakes that are part of this stamp set, all the snowflakes, and we're going to use some of these trees. So I'm going to start, and we're going to do a stamp back to me because we are going to cut one of our stamps. Amanda says, hello, I'm a little time confused here. We were just discussing that. It's so funny that you brought that up. Yeah, I agree, Kate. It's rough. And then the time change messes with their heads for dinner, right? Because they are, if your pets are anything like my pets, they're on a schedule. They know when it's time for dinner. And when it's like too early for dinner, too late for dinner, like they're not happy. So I have to adjust their food so they stay on schedule. All right, so I'm going to put this little skier. I want it to look like he's coming kind of down the hill. We're going to sort of make a scene of sorts. So I'm placing him kind of more to the top. I don't want this to be in the middle. I don't want this little seam to be in the middle. I want it to be more towards the top because we're going to do the washi strip up here, and that's at least an inch. So we have to keep our little snow guy a little bit up to the top. So I have 2 colors of dye ink here. I have Clear Skies and 4. Those were the 2 that seemed to match the best with the cardstock and the colors in the washi tape, I thought. So that's what we're going to use today. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp this little snowman, or this little snowman skier, twice. So I have a really nice, crisp, clean impression. Hi, Jamie. So nice to see you. I'm sorry if you can hear, speaking of dogs, I'm sorry if you can hear my big Andre. He always decides that when I'm live and talking, that must mean it's time to drink as loud as possible from his water that's in here. He has another water dish downstairs. He could use that one, but no. Okay. So there's that little skier. I'll put him up to the camera so you can see. There we go. So that's the beginning of our little scene. The next part of our little scene is going to be our sentiment. Excuse me a second. I need to get a cloth. Okay. So there's our little skier. We're going to do our sentiment next. So the sentiment we're going to use is this one that says, sending you a flurry of joy. I've cut it in half. Yes, yes, I know. I know. How dare I cut it in half, but I did. Because I didn't want it to be like full across. I wanted it to be able to kind of snuggle in under my little skier. So I cut the sentiment. I am okay with that. I'm sorry if you find it cringy. You can put the sentiment somewhere else if you want. You can always cut your stamps because you can always put them back together. You have to put them on a block or a Misty to use them, and they will come right back together without a problem. You'll never even know, I promise. And then we'll grab the second part of our sentiment and snuggle one sentiment in right underneath the other one. Nice and straight. Look how nice that looks. See how it just snuggles right in there. Snuggles perfectly. Okay. So there's our sentiment. We'll put that back. And now we have all these cute little confettis and trees and things we can add. So we're going to go ahead and add our trees next. I'm going to add 3 trees. I'm going to put one up here. So I'm looking like added bonus of clear stamps. I'm kind of looking through the stamp, making the tree straight, right? Looking through the stamp and then just pushing it up till I can't see the blue anymore. Very easy. And then we'll put another one right here again. And I'm putting this one up a little bit because I want to make sure that you can kind of understand that the skier is going to be skiing down and that the trees are behind the skier. The skier is not going to come down into the tree. And to get that look, I'm just going to push this tree up a little bit so it doesn't look like it's right in the path of the skier. And then we're going to use this ink, which is called 4. I just got, so did you guys see that Simon Hurley released more Stellar ink colors? And did you get them? I got them. I got mine over the weekend. I've not had time to swatch them or play with them other than to put them in those like in for storage. That's as far as I got with them. It's still on my list of things to do. Okay. And then I'm going to add one more tree. Again, up here and up a little bit so you can kind of see that the skier is not going to slam into the tree. He's just going to go right past it. This is a pretty abstract scene, but there are ways that you can do this so that you have like your brain gives you the illusion of certain things, like putting the tree up a little bit so that it looks like he's going to ski in front of the tree, not into the tree. So there's our little trees. And we did those in a different color ink so that we have different colors going on here. And then we have these lovely little snowmen. I'm going to switch to an acrylic block. I'm still going to use my Misty, keep this here, but I'm not going to use the door because I'm going to go ahead and stamp with these teeny tiny little stamps. And when I'm stamping with teeny tiny little stamps, I really want to be able to have control. And I don't want to put them in the little window. So these are the tiniest little snowflakes. They're super, super cute. I'm going to go ahead and just stamp them around. To create our little scene. If you're interested in the products that I am using, they're all bundled together. And down in the description box, there is a link to straight to the bundle. And there is also just a link to the store. And don't forget to hit the like button. That will show this video to others who may also enjoy watching today's project. Okay, so now we're going to use some water brushes. I'm going to grab some paper towels because I don't want a ton of water. Just want a wee little bit. Because these are we go. Okay. So we're just going to put a bit of water out of our water brush and then dab it off. And then remember that this is dye ink, which means if I take a water brush and I kind of just pull inwards from the edges of my stamp and let the water react to the ink, it's going to go ahead and kind of pull some of that ink into the trace. Now, again, like I said before, this is not something that is like super precise. This is going to be a little bit, it's going to look watercolory. It's going to look a little messy, like a watercolor. Not terribly messy, not unattractively messy, just like watercolor. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to color in the trees. I'm going to color in the little skier's outfit. And then we're going to do a little bit of splatter too. So we're just kind of dulling the edges of our stamped piece and adding a little bit of color into the middle of the stamped images. Super easy. So I'll pull this up because I know it gets hard to see. So see how it's just gonna dull the edges of the stamp and it's gonna pull in the colors into the middle. Okay. And so I'm gonna clean this off and blot. And then we can come in and we can do the same thing with our little skier just around the edges. We're just going to pull in some of that ink. So that he looks kind of painterly, watercolory. Okay. And then I'm going to take the Stellar ink. I'm going to put a little bit onto here. My acrylic block. I'm going to wet it just a bit. Get my brush nice and saturated. And then we can splatter all the way across. Again, so we get that kind of snowy, watercolory look. And then that just needs to dry, which doesn't take long because it's just water and it's just little splatters. I'll pull it up so you can see. So it's a little bit of color. Now you could go over this again and use something that's shimmery. Like you could do a shimmery splatter if you wanted. But you can see kind of how that's going to look. And just let it dry. Oh, hi, Susan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're just going to let that air dry a couple minutes. While I do that, I will put away my stamps because these are teeny tiny stamps. Remember what I said about this release? I've said this every week I've used this release. I love these stamp sets that have these teeny tiny little confetti stamps. Those little confetti stamps, like the latte one has the little polka dots, and we made our own little pattern paper. This one has all these different sized snowflakes. I love those. I love those teeny tiny little stamps. I can't remember which one we used last Monday. It's all blurring together, but I'm sure there were teeny tiny little stamps in that one too. Those are my favorite. Okay. So I think I need another 1/4 inch strip. Almost positive I do. From the Sky cardstock. Maybe not, but we're gonna cut it while we wait for that to dry a little bit. Anyway. And then everything should be 4 inches. Hopefully I'm cutting this all correctly, or else we'll have to come back and grab this, recut some things, but I think we're good. All right. And that quick, our card is dry. The watercoloring is dry. So very, very easy to do. It does not take very long. So across the top here, we're going to put a piece of that holographic holographic paper. This is the Kaleidoscope hollow stock. And it reminds me of little bubbles. Like when I look at it, it reminds me of little bubbles. It's very, very cool. It's my favorite hollow stock. So we're gonna add a strip. And then that little 1/4 inch strip. This whole card, the whole like feeling of this card to me is like icy. I don't know. I don't know why, but like when I picked the colors and what I was gonna do, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like really. I feel like this card is very cold feeling. Like the colors are very cool and like icy. Anyway, that's my thoughts. So right in this middle section here, we're going to add a piece of this washi tape. And I think I'm going to go with this one this time. I went with the bottom one for the last piece. And also, I sort of feel like I want to play with this washi tape more and add, like, cut it up. I know that sounds strange. Hold on. I'll show you. So something that I think would be kind of fun to do is to take some of these pieces and cut off the areas that look like the postage cards. Now I'm going to go off on a tangent. I hope y'all don't mind. If you mind me going off on a tangent, just let me know. I'll understand. Because when I was designing this card, I almost did this. It's like, so cut them apart and then see how you could kind of go down an entire side? Like you could pick and choose which images from the swatchy sheet you wanted. Like you could do all the animals, like the penguins and the moose and the fox, and the polar bears, and you could have them go down a side of a card. I think that would be really, really cute. Just like that. Something different. Just thought I'd share that with you. Totally off topic. I almost did it though. That was almost the card. So I thought I'd share that one too. And you get 2 sheets of that washi tape. Those washi sheets, you get 2 of them in a pack. So I feel like you could really, I guess the word is collage. I feel like it would be super fun to like collage stuff, collage those images together. Like cut them apart and reimagine them different. Okay. So there's our card. I'll put it on a card base later. I don't feel like digging them out tonight. So there is our card. And then here's the one that I created with a different set of washies across the bottom. And the trees are in different spots. There's a couple more on this one. And this one got a little more like watercolory. There are those 2. So you want to play with that washi sheet some more? I am totally up for it. We're early. We have some time. So let me know in the comments below because I think I could get another. I think we could make another card. We just need some, maybe wait for stuff. So let's do bonus cards tonight because we're early. And I want to play with cutting apart these washi pieces. How does that sound? I'm just waiting for everyone to catch up in the comments. Bonus card. Okay, so let's do 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 for card panel. Card front. And then I'm going to cut another white piece of cardstock at 1 1/2. And then we'll do the blue. We'll do 1/2 inch of blue. And 1/2 inch of the hollow stock. And I'm not going to put a sentiment on this one. So you can put whatever sentiment you like. This is just purely bonus card because I want to play with this washi. And we have time because it's only 8:30. So okay. So let's do this. Let's cut apart and grab all of these cute little animals. And basically I'm gonna cut apart the area that has the like these the postcard edges. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna go ahead and collage these. No one has thoughts on a bonus card. Well, I hope you like the idea and you all don't run away leaving because I'm doing it. So I'm going to start with the animals, but we might end up coming in. And I'm sorry if my head is in the way. I'm going to go down probably 6 inches, probably to here. Everyone's staying, so we like the idea of a bonus card, I guess. Okay. Let's grab these cute little penguins. I'm telling you, this particular sheet of washi strips, there is a lot of potential with it. Like there's a lot of potential, and it's just so interesting, all these little images. Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab, where are we? 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we have a couple. Grab a couple more. I'm gonna grab these cute little pine cones. They're adorable. What other ones do we have here? Little snowflakes. You could also do one where you cut out all the little kids. There's all these little images of like little kids making snow things. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna grab my polar bears. No, I have the polar bears already. What else? I have the polar bears. I don't have these little reindeer. So a couple of things. I'm keeping all my little stickers justified to this side. And I'm also watching the grid here because I want to be less than 6 inches, right? Because our card's only 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So kind of making sure that I have those measurements. So then I can come and start this. And then come in. And I'm also going to grab some vintage photo distress oxide ink because we have a lot of brown in this little strip that we made. And adding that ink will make all the separate pieces look like they all go together. So let me show you how this looks. Look how cute that turned out. I love it. All right. So we're going to put all those little images over here. Oh, I'm going to go for the top because I'm going to line this up at the top because otherwise I'm going to end up cutting off the top of the polar bear's head. And I don't feel like that's a good look. We don't want to, decapitate anybody here. Plus, this will give it the look like it's going off the page completely. So let's just go ahead and just a little bit, just to make it all look like it all goes together. And then we'll do our blue strip. And then we'll do our little holographic strip. And then all you would need to do to finish this off is to put a little sentiment. You can put a little sentiment here and then another, we could add another strip if you want. But I'm thinking like one of those big sentiments. What is the name of that stamp set? That is the big sentiment. Hold on a second. If I can find it here, I'll grab it. And I don't know if this is available in the shop. Super sentimental. I don't know if this one's available in the shop or not. But one of these would be really, really nice. It's really sad. I bought this stamp set. I have this stamp set. I've never opened it. We get to open it today. Because look. Oh, yes. Just like that. Let's do it. If anyone asks, we just did a side quest today on the live. It's a side quest. And I'm also going to say we need some brown ink because we have a lot of browns in these washi tapes that we chose, and we inked everything with the Distress Oxide. So we definitely need like a brown ink. So let's go ahead. The reason I'm choosing Get Well Soon for my sentiment here is because I feel like this card has a bit of like a masculine feel, and I'm always looking for cards that have a little bit of a more masculine feel for Get Well cards. 'Cause I feel like, we always do like the flower bouquet and stuff, or very feminine colors, and this has a little bit more masculine feel. So there you go. Bonus card for tonight. Just need some super simple, but with that hollow stock and all these cute little animals. There you go. So we have our nice icy cards. And then we have this kind of warmer toned cards. I love this. It's turned out so nice. Okay, everyone. That's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed our little crafting and our little side quest. And again, if you're interested in the bundle or interested in the thank you, Clara. Thank you so much. If you're interested in the bundle or grabbing any of the products from the shop, there is links in the description box. Those are affiliate links, which means if you use them, that lets everyone at British Monroe know that I sent you to the store. And it also allows me to earn a little bit of a commission, which helps to pay me for my time to be able to come online and create with you all every week. So you all have a wonderful evening. Goodbye, Clara. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. It always makes it much more fun when we have lots of people coming and saying hello and stopping by.